Canton Memorial Fieldhouse. Yours truly, Scott Davis. Kent McClellan doing double duty as well, doing the color commentary. And we thank Dave Jingo. We thank Jen Eberly and cameraman extraordinaire Ian Burton for joining us here. And I asked you to be part of this because maybe a lot of people aren't aware. There's not a bad turnout here today, but we're talking about two of the elite teams, at least if nothing else, Northeastern Ohio, because it's Canton McKinley at 10-3 overall. Marlington has lost only one game this season, 12-1, and that one loss by 1 point.
I think what'll be interesting, Scott, you or I have not seen the Marlington girls play, obviously, but they come in with a very nice record, but they're undefeated in the Eastern Buckeye Conference. And I would think that most people around Stark County would think that Federal League girls basketball operates at a higher level than the Eastern Buckeye Conference. So how good is Marlington? We're going to find out today.
Yes, and then I'm enthusiastic about that. And both teams rely heavily on their starting fives. For instance, Marlington, 4 of their 5 players are in double figures. And to me, that's quite an accomplishment. And the 5th is averaging 4 points and close to 5 rebounds a game.
Yes.
So they are all contributing on our side of the coin. It depends what night it is. And that's why I think Coach Brian Bowden's team has been so successful. It could be Maya Taylor, who had 28 on Wednesday night. Kailani Foster, who over at Jackson had a season high 24. Paris Stokes, who has a season high of 30 points. And Sydney Bowden, who simply does a little bit of everything. And Ariana Snell, as good a player on the boards as she is putting it in the basket.
Well, one of the things I see is that there doesn't appear from either team to be a lot of production off the bench. And so when I see that, a game can come down to one of the key players getting in foul trouble, and perhaps there's a drop-off when they make a substitution, and that can be the difference in the game.
Alex Rafus announcing our national anthem. So I'm going to go out on a limb here, and this is just a gut feeling I have after trying to work hard to prepare for this game, and that is I think with Marlington, their success will depend on the long distance three-point shooting, because there have been games where players have had 3 or 4 threes. And then for McKinley, it's the speed. It's the experience of having 2 four-year starters in Bowden and in Stokes. And so I think it's quickness versus scoring ability.
You know, and because the field house is such a different shooting environment than most high school gymnasiums, it sometimes throws the other team off on their shooting. The sight lines, the feel in the court.
Great point, because there's so much depth behind
Space,
both
yes.
baskets. And we've talked about that, whether it's boys or girls. So for Marlington, it's Elizabeth Mason averaging 17 a game. Chelsea Evanich, 11.5. Number 1, Maria Warner, averaging 11. Lexi Miller, number 4, averaging 10. Ava Collins, number 15, averaging 4. 4 of the 5 are seniors, the 5th a junior. For the Lady Pups, Maya Taylor, a freshman, 28 points Wednesday night. What a comeback. She had one game where she only had 2, very upset, and that's how she responds on the court. Kailani Foster, we talked about the 24 points against Jackson in a big win over there recently. She's averaging 9+ a game. Taylor 14 a game. Paris Stokes 16 and a half, but again has a chance at any time to be in the 20s or even 30. Sydney Bowden, again, I don't use her stats too much. It just and 5 threes and a win over Perry. She can rebound. She can play the point. She's among the leaders in all those categories. And then Snell, of course, we talked about her scoring better than 8 per game, Ariana Snell. And again, they've got 3 seniors, a junior, and a freshman in Maya Taylor.
I would suggest Sydney Bowden is as productive of a 6-point per game player as there is in Northeastern Ohio.
And I would second that motion. She can do it all. This is Stokes. Stokes and Taylor will handle the ball. And well beyond 50% of the time, but look at that ball movement.
Marlington comes out in the 2-3 zone, so I don't know if that's typically what they play or if they've made an adjustment for McKinley.
Sydney.
Good patience on offense for the Lady Pups there.
I think she's making a statement because she didn't score against Hoover, but they won big on Wednesday night.
Lady Pups come out in the 2-2-1 full court press.
Rebound by Mason for Marlington.
Flow back into man-to-man with pressure all over the floor.
The quickness of the home team. And the rebound by Foster. Beautiful pass and basket by Paris Stokes.
Marlington coach alertly calls timeout to avert a 10-second call there. A nice bit of coaching.
I was going to say his timeout beat the fact I was about to say. I think they're in deep trouble here. But that's kind of a preview, a little tease, so to speak, if McKinley's going to be successful, and a lot of people believe they will. But they're excited to face this quality of an opponent, and it fits right in with the quality of the Federal League.
Marlington may be seeing stylistically and athletically a different level of opponent than what they've seen. Now, they're going to adjust to that. They can't emulate that kind of speed in practice, right? Their second unit can't emulate that. But these girls will adjust, and they're going to settle in, and we're going to have a good ball game here.
The pressure by Stokes causing that turnover. And it will be Marlington basketball.
Paris Stokes trying to make that extra pass a little low, tough to handle.
Again, that full court pressure.
2-2-1.
And a whistle.
What's interesting, this is a little bit sophisticated, Scott. I've not seen this much at the boys level. We're coming out in a 2-2-1 zone press, and then we are falling into a man-to-man, and that's not easy to do, or woman-to-woman, as you will.
Right.
Normally you're dropping back into a zone half-court defense, so we'll see how this plays out.
Well, when you're head coach, outstanding player at the high school and college levels, and he's coached, only man I know, McKinley has been head coach and assistant coach of both the boys and the girls programs. He's done it all.
Yeah.
And sharing that wisdom with his troops.
Okay, we pass the ball ahead to Sydney Bowden. She makes a veteran play. It wasn't there, so she turned around calmly and going to get us into our half-court offense.
Snell lost the ball to Mason, who's been doing a nice job defensively in the early going. There's your three-point goal. Battle for the rebound. Jump ball.
So Marlington has missed a couple of wide open three-point shots. That may be the field house at play there as much as anything. It was not our defense. One of those.
Well, and I think they've already answered my question. How physical will it get? It'll get physical. It already is physical in some regards. Look at the double team in the.
What Paris Stokes really sits down and guards. I have not seen the girls this year. I do remember her from last year, and I forgot candidly how tenacious her defense was.
We played 2.5 minutes. McKinley on top, 4-0. Maria Warner wears number 1. Number 15 is Ava Collins. And a whistle.
So McKinley's playing a man-to-man, but Sydney Bowden kind of hangs in that middle to protect the rim. So apparently our scouting report tells us that who she's guarding is not a threat to shoot the deep ball.
I hesitate to, again, because it's a first foul, but Adriana had to sit for a while against Hoover because of foul trouble. First bucket by Chelsea Evanich, the junior.
So Marlington's going to press off of a made basket and a zone press. That's a tough call for them because McKinley's quickness broke that press.
Stokes to Taylor, and they immediately go into full court pressure along with Foster. Six to 2 our score as we approach the midway point of this first period.
Marlington taking the ball out. Oftentimes teams will fall into a 2-3 zone on out of bounds plays. It looks like the Lady Pups stay in their man-to-man here. Probably going to have to do some switching on some inside screens.
Jayla Sparks checks in. Taylor out because of the 2 personal fouls in the early going.
Now here, Scott, is a 4th foul call on McKinley, and that's kind of what I alluded to. Without a lot of depth, we want to avoid foul trouble.
And Sparks, who just checked in, picks up her first. Yeah, you look at the team fouls, 4-0. That's the one you don't want to be in favor of. Maria Warner, season high 17 against Carrollton, averaging 11 points, 5 assists, and 4 steals. A little bit of everything for the head coach.
Different zone press here from Marlington. Come out in a diamond press instead 3/4 diamond. So they're really switching things up.
Got Foster double teamed in the corner, and it will be McKinley's basketball. Sydney to inbound.
Well, I don't know what that out of bounds play, but it didn't seem like anybody was moving much.
Runner across the rim, no good by Foster. Her opposite number will get the assist.
Marlington really pushed the ball up the floor.
Elizabeth Mason, averaging 17 per game, has her first 2, and a whistle the other way. Always like this. I never take this for granted when one team helps up the other team.
Yes, and nice to see. Good aggressive attacking of the basket by Stokes. She'll go to the line for 2.
Tied at 6, just past the midway point, 3:56 to go in this opening quarter. So 7-6 Lady Pups, and Stokes with 3.
Now, it appears we've gone to a man-to-man press. Marlington was thinking that was a zone. It was not.
Stokes got a hand on it, but was also traveling out of bounds at the time. Couldn't stop that momentum, and I don't blame her. Rebound by Sparks.
Nice box out. Marlington in a 2-3 zone yet.
Sparks underneath, beats the double team, gets a shot up and down. Nice play.
Yes.
Shayla Sparks.
Good patient footwork inside by Sparks.
Oh, and a
Blocked
clean
by Bowden.
steal by Snell. Stokes thought about the 3 instead to Sydney Bowden. She'll drive the runner across the rim and picked up by Lexi Miller. And this is Maria Warner, the point guard. 3-point goal. Elizabeth Mason, she leads all scorers with 5.
Okay, now that was off of number 1, Kailani Foster. The referees missed a foul, and they mercifully gave the Lady Pups the ball back. So good piece of refereeing there.
Sydney will inbound, not too far from our broadcast location. Shot is up and good. Ariana Snell. And that puts all 5 starters and the 6th woman, as I like to call it, and double. All of them are in the score sheet.
Nice aggressive action there. It's 2 threes in a row, Scott. So it seems like our fieldhouse advantage was brief here.
Yes. Yeah, Mason has 8.
Excellent cut down the middle by Sydney Bowden, and Ariana Snell did a good job picking her up.
I stand corrected. We've got 5 in the scorebook for McKinley. Boy, they start hitting the 3s.
Yes. Now there, Sydney Bowden did not go out and guard her, and of course, if she's going to make shots like that, we're going to have to.
Already, our guests have 3 threes, and we've only played 5.5 minutes. And the visitors on top, 15-13, and with the basketball. Good defense. This is Alexi Miller.
Didn't see what happened there, but the referee
She got kind of sandwiched in between.
The referee's asking for a substitution. Let the coach take a look at her and make sure that she's okay.
Better safe than sorry.
Yeah.
Zoe Mort, we anticipated she might be the 6th woman for the Lady Dukes today. She's got a season high of 6 points against Minerva, averaging 2 points per game and seeing action virtually in every sport. I see our trainer working on one of the Lady Pups. I don't know who. There has been some issue with leg cramps on occasion.
You constantly have coaches harping on their athletes to drink water, but that needs to happen all day, not just before the game.
Approaching the 1 minute mark.
McKinley switches to a 2-3 zone. Now they're switching out of that, kind of a trapping zone.
Nice steal by Foster. And knocked out of bounds by one of the Dukes. Good to see Lexi Miller back in there. Just needed time to catch her breath.
I thought it was going to be a a short-term sit for her, and it was.
3-point goal. Paris Stokes.
Excellent. McKinley dropping back into a half-court defense. Man-to-man. Nope, it's a 1-2-2.
And we're down inside 30 seconds. And a whistle.
We go to a 1-2-2, and I've always felt the vulnerability of a 1-2-2 is along the foul line. You just don't seem to match up well, and if you get it there, it breaks down. But our girls did a nice job of defending that.
Basket is good. Chance for the traditional three-point play. Boy, that's her third.
Chelsea Evanich with 7 points already, Scott, with a chance to go to 8.
Yes.
That Evanich name is synonymous with, is that Marlington basketball or football?
That's what I'm trying to remember. And I had the same reaction as I was.
I think it was a basketball coach.
Working on the rosters. It's funny how different schools, well, the name Stokes, just the first one that comes to my mind, having had the honor of sitting here with Ron Stokes. And
12 seconds to go. I think the Lady Pups will work for a final shot. We take
right on cue, a little off the mark. Can the Dukes get a shot off? 2-1. It'll count if it goes off the side of the iron. But Marlington, 18, McKinley, 16. And again, Maya Taylor with 3 personal fouls is of concern.
Yes, that absolutely. I didn't realize that. I would think that Coach Bowden will try to hide her a little bit on the defensive end and maybe put her on somebody that's not such a threat to score so he can keep her on the floor.
She has
that may be why we're playing some zone there.
She has a bucket for 2. Foster has a total of, let's check this out. Stokes has a total of 6. Sydney Bowden has 4. Ariana Snell with 2. And off the bench, Jayla Sparks with 2. On the other side, it's kind of interesting. 3 are in the scoring column, but the big plus is 2 of those 3 have 8 points apiece. Evanich and Mason. And then Maria Warner, the point guard, has contributed 2 points.
Which are their 2 leading scorers.
Yeah. So they are Mason averaging 17 and Evanich, I'd round it out and say 12.
You said that they shot a lot of threes, and I can see that now.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to go out and challenge those.
Well, and we've also got the ability to make them, but again, not to harp on it too much, but having Maya with 3 personal fouls kind of takes that option away for a little bit anyway. So McKinley with the ball down by 2. Not anymore. Sydney Bowden.
Boy, Sydney has a beautiful release on that mid-range jump shot. You almost shoots a ball like she's a coach's daughter.
Well, and Brian Bowden had a nice outside shot for a big man as well. Like father, like daughter. I like it. I like the way they're coming to the ball. Double, triple team there. And it paid off.
No reason to pick the ball up there. She heard pressure coming from behind, and maybe a 2-foot jump stop would have been a better play. You remember 2-foot jump stops, don't you? Yeah.
And again, I like the way McKinley is coming to the ball defensively, and it pays off here. Steal by Foster. Nice job defensively by Ava Collins, number 15.
Marlington doesn't concede anything coming back on defense. They're swatting at the ball. They're pressuring the ball. Very aggressive. They're in their 2-3. McKinley adjusting into our zone offense. Getting the ball to Sydney Bowden at the high post. Now 11 is going with her, interestingly. So they're playing kind of a matchup zone there.
Stokes for three. She knew it was off. I could hear her say it herself. And with the basketball, Maria Warner working it inside. Good ball movement. This is Warner for three.
Excellent ball movement. Got it into Evanich. That's a place where she looks to score, but she looked backside to a wide open defender, and that's great ball movement. Good coaching, too. Lady Pups trying some skip passes to move the zone.
Dukes with the ball on 18, still early in the second period.
McKinley foul, number 2, Paris Stokes, her first personal foul, 6th team foul.
You know, Marlington, for as hard as they play on the defensive end, has only committed one foul.
Yes, you read my mind. Good
And
for
it
me,
appears
maybe
to me
bad
like
for
they-
you, but
yeah.
you're right.
Yeah. Appears that they play without fouling, though, which is a nice quality to have.
Well, they have played as advertised, let's put it that way. And that was halfway down, but an offensive rebound and putback. Number 11, Chelsea Evanich. And she's the first in double figures with 10. More importantly, the lead is 5 now. Biggest lead for either team in this game. Nice pass, Bowden. Snell couldn't get it to go.
A lot of contact there. No call. Maybe our girl created the contact, is what the referee saw.
Good ball movement.
Ball really moves.
Yep.
Nice ball fake.
And a basket. Elizabeth Mason, and she's in double figures with 10. And it's the biggest lead at 7. Sydney for 3 off the mark. Last touched by number 10, Jayla Sparks.
So before the Marlington contingent writes letters to the school board, I'm going to say, Scott, I said we'd find out how for real Marlington is in this game. And
yeah,
I'm going to suggest they're for real.
Yes.
It's a good basketball team.
Fundamentally sound. They're patient. Good ball movement.
And they've adjusted to our quickness, which
Yes.
gave them trouble early on. They can't replicate that in practice, but it didn't take about a half of a quarter before they made the adjustment.
Individually, Stokes and Bowden each with 6 for McKinley, but that's countered by 10 points apiece for Chelsea Evanich and also for Elizabeth Mason.
I think I'd like to see us get out on the fast break a little more and get some more stuff in transition. Marlington plays really good half-court defense, and we're having trouble.
Yeah.
Now, you have to force a miss at that end typically and get a fast break off of a steal or a rebound.
Yeah.
So
Good point.
see what we do. Apparently, we've taken the press off for the time being. We're going to come in revert to a man-to-man defense. Bowden on Evanich, which should be a good matchup.
Mm-hmm. 2 tallest ladies on the floor, at least. There's one that got away, and it will be, but again, nice gesture as both teams helping each other up. They understand what's happening here as we're almost at the midway point here of the second period.
That's just outstanding.
Nice.
Just outstanding. I love running offense through Sydney Bowden at the high post. I just think she can shoot it and she can pass it. That's a good place to get the ball. Good backdoor cut.
Snell with 4, the lead down to 5.
We were in pretty good defensive position there until we brought our hand down and slapped at the ball.
And the field house turns quiet for a moment. I
Number
have to use my
30,
golf voice here.
Elizabeth Mason, their leading scorer. I don't know if she got hit in the nose and appears. Coach is lobbying to keep her on the floor. I don't blame him. And the referee saying, no, let's take a look at her. McKinley trainer to come over and help.
No wonder everything got so quiet. Everybody wasn't quite sure what was happening, other than the player was stunned there for a minute.
Now, I would think that we've got to get a sub in for Marlington and keep this game moving. This is unusual that you would allow somebody that kind of time. Here the referee is asking for a substitution.
And here comes number 5, Allie Gill, who's averaging 2 points a game like Zoe. And she also had her best outing against Minerva, scoring 5 points earlier this season. A little too tall, and it will be Lady Pups basketball. And just like with the first time there was contact, fortunately the young lady was able to get right back in the little miscommunication there. Yep. Deep 3 ball. Sparks goes down. Store. This is Bowden. Runner across the rim. Nice rebound by Foster. For 2. Off the back of the iron. Rebound by Mason. Oh, beautiful move.
Yes, yeah. Good patience, good footwork by Evanich.
Evanich with a dozen. The lead is 7. 2 minutes, 40 seconds to go before halftime.
Again, I like getting that ball to the high post to Sydney Bowden.
Yeah, she's really putting all her skills on display, and I'm glad to see it.
Good inside pass.
Just a little too far underneath the basket. And again, some credit going to Marlington's defense, which has been impressive here. Deep 3, nothing but net. Lexi Miller, that's her first basket. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 threes already for Marlington.
Excellent dish by Paris Stokes to Sydney Bowden, who made herself available in the middle of the lane.
Well, Sydney picking up some of the scoring slack as Maya Taylor has missed most of this quarter after picking up her 3rd foul. Another 3, another basket.
There's Scott. After she just made that one, we can't allow her to set and shoot from the exact same place.
Yeah, she just did back-to-back.
Yes. Yeah.
Paris Stokes, first points of this quarter, 8 in the game, 33-24, and another 3.
3 threes in a row by Lexi Miller.
Yeah.
And Coach Bowden says, guys, I'm a believer. You need to be too. Those first 2 weren't lucky.
And suddenly it's a double-digit lead, 12 points for Marlington with 1:15 to go before halftime.
You know, your insights prove prophetic. Points can come from anywhere from this Marlington team. So there really isn't a soft spot that you cannot worry about.
In fact, they'd be willing to try one from the parking lot if they could make it a 4-point play,
Yeah.
But I don't think that'll happen here today. But Marlington coming as advertised, and they have been impressive. You've got now 3 in double figures. Evanich with 12, 10 for Mason. And Lexi Miller, anything interesting there is I've
11.
got her for
they've come in
9 and they've
the
got
last,
11.
Yeah,
so I
but
don't
they've
know.
come in, it seems like, about the last minute and a half,
Yes.
haven't they? Arlington still has only committed 1 personal foul.
Wow. It's another side of their success here today.
Yeah, it's not that they don't play defense. I mean, they're
in fact 20-6 has been the margin in the second period in favor of the visitors on the scoreboard.
they've been pretty committed to that 2-3 zone.
Mm-hmm. Jump ball. I recognize a couple of these referees, and the last time they were on the court, I personally congratulated them for letting the young youngsters, I should say, considering how old I am, letting them play.
Well, they don't interrupt the game. A flow emerges.
Exactly.
Marlington's doing a nice job of only limiting us to 1 shot. We're not doing a nice job boxing out, which can be a challenge out of a half-court zone defense. I don't know whose ball is it here. It seems to be some confusion as to. Okay, the referee promised the Marlington coach the next one. So
well, and it's nice they had that instead of dramatics and stomping on the floor, because that's more NBA like. Nice job counting a foul. Snell has 6 points. She'll look for 7 at the line and can get the deficit back into single digits.
Nice ball fake. She's an explosive player inside.
Yeah. (36-26) inside a minute to go in this first half, and it's been dominated by Marlington here in this second quarter.
Looks like Marlington's going to be satisfied to spread the floor and work for the last shot.
And why not? If they can time it right, the worst thing will happen is they'll go into the locker room with a lead of 10.
Evanich has a ball on top. They don't think that Bowden is going to go out and challenge her, and so far she has not.
Nice move. Maybe it's appropriate because she's the leading scorer in the game with 14.
They spread the floor. They knew what matchup they wanted. They got it, and she made a difficult shot.
Ironically, the difference.
Good end of quarter execution.
20-10, a margin of 2-1 by our guests on the scoreboard. And looking at the individual scoring for our guests here today, it's Chelsea Evanich with 14, going off the numbers on the scoreboard. Lexi Miller, they've got her for 11. And then it's 10 points for Elizabeth Mason. So it's spread out nicely in that regard. And 2 familiar names leading the way, Paris Stokes and Sydney Bowden with 8 apiece. But then you put that together, and the balance of the squad has 10, although 6 of those, we want to give credit to Ariana Snell for finishing strong in this first half. Your thoughts?
Well, I think if we slug it out with them in a half-court game, it's going to be a difficult task for the Pups. I think we're going to have to make this more of a full-court game and hope that we can get them to throw it around a little bit, which they have when we've pressured them. and hopefully we can get some easy baskets on the offensive end.
Great point. We will pause. We're here at the Canton Memorial Fieldhouse.
If you're seeking an energetic, creative, and vibrant presenter, Lucas Tyndale is your choice. I'm already looking forward to booking him again.
Lucas's engaging and enthusiastic style created positive energy and engagement with our leaders. He is very personable and connects well with his audience.
You need to set your GPS so that your life is the life you plan for it to be. I don't care how young you are, how old you are. Your life should not just be a series of unfortunate events and things just happen.
You never get in your car and just say, I'm just gonna see where I end up. Right? Is that ever a setting in your GPS? Just take me wherever you want me to go.
I cannot recommend Lucas enough. I have pretty high standards, and he exceeded them effortlessly. Authentic, energetic, and thought-provoking.
Old MacDonald had a farm. E-I-E-I-O. E-I-E-I-O. I want you guys to remember E-I-E-I-O forever. E-I stands for emotional intelligence. When you know who you are, it's easy to do what you do. This is who I am.
Lucas does wonderful work, absolutely rivets the group with his enthusiasm. I definitely walked away a better man than I arrived. Divergent.
Humorous.
Storyteller.
Knowledgeable. My favorite keynote speaker.
So on the count of 3, you guys are gonna say some simple words. You're gonna just say, I love you. And you're gonna picture yourself in the mirror. You're just saying this to yourself. It's really simple. You're gonna simply say, I love you to you. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3. A little louder. 1, 2, 3. I love you guys too. Thank you guys so much. My name is Lucas Tyndale. It's been a pleasure being here with you guys today.
Okay, we're getting ready for the second half here. My partner, Scott Davis, was double checking the score at the scores table. What did you find out, Scott?
Not much. Not much, I'm afraid. I've got our scoring matches. So I guess that's pretty important. 8 each for Stokes and Bowden, 6 for Snell, and 2 apiece for Taylor and Sparks. But I've got to, and I'm going to go with what's up on the board because I'm trying to do 2 or 3 different things at right. I had Miller down for 9 with 3 threes, and they've got her for 11. So we'll go with that. And then let's see, Warner.
I thought she was fouled earlier in the first quarter and maybe made a couple free throws. But
yeah, that could very well be. Let's see, and Mason has 10, and that matches what we've done here.
McKinley comes out in a 1-2-2 trapping zone, so an adjustment by Coach Bowden at the half. Marlington draining another 3. Wow, this is quite a shooting exhibition they're putting on. Very nice drive by Kailana Foster.
That's her first 2 of the game. Good timing.
McKinley switches back to a 2. Well, I guess it's still a 1-2-2 technically, maybe a 2-1-2. Putting a lot of responsibility on Ariana Snell.
Yeah, Snell's in the middle and
so,
2
we're
guards
playing
up top.
zone here, Scott, but we're extending this to keep pressure out there on the ball to prevent the 3-point shooting.
There may be some gaps in there.
Another wide open 3, though. Fortunate to have missed that.
Yeah. Rebound by Collins. And now Paris Stokes comes away with a basketball. Nice rebound, Bowden. And she'll go to the foul line.
It's good rebound, good patient down there by Sydney, making sure that she drew the foul.
Marlington foul, 4, Lexi Miller, her second personal foul, 3rd team foul.
The broadcaster said the 3rd team foul, but that's a 3rd team foul for the entire game. It's the first team foul for the half.
Sydney in double figures with 10. Leading scorer for the Pups. 3 with 10 or more. And that's the difference in this game for our guests from Marlington. Line drive, but again, rebound at the other end by Collins. And a whistle.
I may have misdiagnosed the Pups defense, Scott. We may be playing a box and 1. We seem to be giving Evanich some extra attention, which doesn't sound like a bad idea. No, we haven't. It just looked that way briefly. So we're in a 1-2-1, 1-2-2.
Partially blocked. Stokes comes away with it. Nice feed up front. 1st and 10 who?
Snell misses a bunny there. We'll get it out underneath the basket. Marlington in their 2-3.
The lead is 11, not now. The lead is 8. 3-point goal, Maya Taylor. Back into single digits, an 8-point deficit. And now they're trapping in the corner. You can see that 3 really picked up the defensive effort.
Yes, yeah, our girls
Good
are
to
really
see.
moving on the defensive end here.
And again, the patience of the Dukes.
Yes. Yes.
Sydney with the rebound, stolen, blocked by Bowden. Great play on both ends. Taylor drives baseline and drew a foul. Much to the surprise of the young lady who will be given that foul.
Cindy Bowden had her pocket picked at this end,
Yeah.
and then she blocked the shot attempt and saved
Yeah,
the
she
ball
didn't
in
give
bounds.
up. She didn't
Yes.
moan and groan. She, anything you can do, I can do better. Maybe. Taylor will try to split the pair. Second tour duty for Allie Gill.
It's a third foul on Miss Miller. So
So we got one player on each side. 41-33, 4 minutes, 50 seconds to go in quarter number 3.
Marlington overloading one side of the floor. Entered into the block. And beautiful pass back out on top. Money. Yeah. Boy, that's good offensive execution.
Marlington foul, number 11, Chelsea Evans, her second.
Yeah, they overloaded the one side of the floor. The Marlington girl went down to the block. They entered the ball. She looked right to the top of the key where a point guard was wide open. The coach, that's just as the coach draws it up.
Lady Pups have struggled a bit at the foul line. I don't have the numbers, but there you go.
McKinley choosing not to press. So we're falling back into our 1-2-2, but we are trapping out of this. Being aggressive.
Dukes with the ball, 10-point lead, 44-34. As we approach the midway point of period number 3.
Again, they overload this side of the floor. Good defense by McKinley.
Yes.
Good patience by Marlington. You expect that out of two good basketball teams, right?
Yes.
McKinley really extending this zone almost all the way out to half court.
Yeah, when you got the ball in the 10-point lead, it gives you the opportunity to see what it gets you.
Marlington's had the ball for about 40 seconds this possession.
Oh.
Number 15, Ava Collins, shooting it off the side of the backboard that time. The coach offering some encouragement.
That's how every one of my shots was growing up. Be lucky to draw any part of the back board. But again, one and done as Marlington back with the ball, 44-34. Knocked away, steal by Snell. Stokes, nice spin move inside to Bowden.
Pass. Excellent spin and pass.
Yes.
I don't know if they're going to give that a shooting foul or on the floor.
Marlington foul, number 15, Ava Collins. On the floor.
Personal foul, fourth team foul.
Sydney looking over at the bench for any instructions on a specific play.
That there is Cindy did get fouled. Had she thrown a shot up at the basket, no matter how crazy it was, it would have been a shooting foul as opposed to on the floor. Ariana Snell.
If at first you don't succeed.
Good work
Ariana
on the offensive
Snell.
glass. So this 1-2-2 has been relatively effective here.
Got it back to single digits on the deficit. Yeah, the work around the three-point arc is very impressive.
Yeah.
Got the shot they wanted, and Chelsea Evanich puts it in. Stokes got the ball back. Up, no. Dukes with the ball, 10-point lead, minute 30 to go in the third period. And traveling is the call.
Correct call. She didn't shuffle her feet much, but that's not the point.
Knocked out of bounds by Ava Collins.
You side out McKinley.
Call a foul on Paris Stokes.
That must have been away from the ball. I didn't see that.
No, and I did not as well. Always following that brown circle.
Right.
Actually, orange. Back in my day, it was brown from all the use we gave it. Well, we wouldn't be surprised to see them hold the ball for the last shot when you lead by 10 and show the patience that the Dukes are displaying here at the field house.
Using Ariana Snell to trap up on top, which is a nice play. Oh, the referee missed a call. It was off the, I think we're going to get it corrected. And very good.
That's what you call teamwork.
Yes,
part of the officials.
And the referee who made the incorrect call seemed to have no problem with getting the call right. That's the most important.
Like to see it.
Now, are we going to go for one shot here? Apparently not. Get it in. Oh, it's a good entry pass to Bowden. That's the correct call there. I'm a little surprised Marlington didn't go for the last shot. They're so disciplined there. They turn it over. They'd like to not do that. So let's get a bucket here, Pups, as we finish off.
Yeah, get it back into single digits. Three-point shot, nope. And it will stay 46-36.
We came down there with 15 seconds to go. We just really didn't get into anything and ended up taking a pretty difficult three-pointer as time expired.
When you think of this, Marlington with quarters of 18, 20, only 8 points this quarter, but we could only manage 10.
I thought that 1-2-2 zone was effective for us. It was a good defensive adjustment at halftime. But offensively, you give us a 16-point quarter, and all of a sudden we've got a real ball game.
So Taylor had 3 in the quarter. She's got 5 in the game. Foster 2 in the quarter, 2 in the contest. Stokes with a total of 9, 1 point in that third quarter. Sydney Bowden has 10, 2 points in that quarter. And Ariana Snell with 8 and 2 in that. No one had more than 3 points for McKinley in that third period.
So we say that Marlington has 4 girls that average in double figures. If you look at the scoreboard, 16, 11, 10, and 9.
Yeah, they've lived up to expectations.
Which is 20, 30. all 46 of their points come from those 4 girls, by the way.
And looking at their box scores, it's history repeating itself in that regard.
Looks like we're going to stay in a 1-2-2 and extend it a little higher even. Ariana Snow gives us some nice length and athleticism up on the top of that 1-2-2.
Oh. That pass went directly between two McKinley.
Yeah, I don't think, I think each girl thought it was intended for the other one. Boy, Evanich goes anywhere to set a high ball screen.
Sydney with the basketball.
She handles the ball well for a center, doesn't she?
As I say, she does it all. Shot off the mark.
We were just a basket or two from really getting back into this game here.
Can't seem to get a whole lot going here in the second half in particular. Sydney.
McKinley foul, number 5, Sydney Bowden, her first personal foul.
Her first, that's the good news. Six minutes, 30 seconds to go in this fourth period. And again, that good ball movement, we've seen it from the outset.
We're executing this zone very well. Our guards are reading. If Evanich is at the high post, they know that Snell can't go on top and guard that person. So we're sending somebody else up there, and they're just making that adjustment in real time. And I'm impressed with how we're executing this.
I can't help but think
it remains 10. I don't think either team has scored this quarter.
no. It's we've been locked in for about 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Yeah. Nice steal by Stokes. Need a basket here. Got it.
For the Bulldogs, number 2, Paris Stokes.
Looks like we've switched to a man-to-man. And it didn't serve us well, did it?
Wow. And it puts Warren in double figures. And now look at the scoreboard. Their 4 averaging in double figures are all in double figures.
Yeah, Marlington had the floor spread, and when she got past us at the high, there just was nobody left there to pick up the ball.
Pass intercepted. Stolen back by Foster. She'll take it to the basket. Kailani with 4 all in the second half.
Again, you see Marlington has the floor spread. Maria Warner seems like a very capable ball handler out there for Marlington.
Offensive rebound by Collins.
Evanich doesn't miss many of those inside.
No, Sydney. Pad short. Steele. Stokes. No, right there, Taylor. Doesn't have to be pretty, it just needs to be successful.
Looks to me like Sydney Bowden could use a blow here, and her dad would do well to get her out just for 30 seconds, a minute. Let her get rested.
Coach Sandulis, I don't know if you noticed, he said spread the floor.
Yes. Yeah, he doesn't want McKinley to be able to double team the ball. So if you get your spacing right, it makes it hard to do that.
And on Maya Taylor, that's her fourth. She got open underneath the basket. Ava Collins in the scorebook for the first time.
Impressed with Marlington's ability to look for the extra pass. They'll pass up a good shot for a better one.
Snell. She's in double figures with 10.
Again, we're in a man-to-man. Denying the passes all over the floor.
Deficit down to 7, but the time is under 3.5 minutes. Taylor with it. And Taylor shaken up.
15 foul on Marlington. McKinley has 6.
Her first personal foul, 15 fouls.
Coach Bowden calling time, and I think this is as much to give his girls a break as it is a strategic timeout here. Again, if you really don't want to go to your bench, then that's what you have to do. 2 timeouts left for McKinley. Marlington has 4.
We are quite a distance away, and the trainer is Johnny on the spot, and boy, has he been busy for both teams. She is grabbing what appears to be her left hip, or maybe back area.
Yeah, I really couldn't see what happened down there.
No, I couldn't get a clear view. Again, we are at the far end. That is probably one of the few negatives with this move, is being farther away from the home team bench. But now what happens if she can't continue? You designate someone, or how does that work out?
Was it a shooting foul?
Well, that's a good question.
I think it was a shooting foul. I think it was a floor foul.
And that would make things a lot
you
easier.
Just substitute in and
right, exactly.
Play on. If it's a shooting foul, yes, the coach can designate. He brings somebody in off the bench that is a good foul shooter, and then he might make a change after they make the free throw and put somebody else in. And can't substitute somebody that was already on the floor to shoot the free throws.
Now she's out there.
She's back out there.
Now there's a little discussion among the coaching staff.
The discussion is where the ball should be placed. I think that we designed a play anticipating the ball to be a side out, and in fact the referee has said it's underneath the basket. Doesn't seem like much, but it probably foiled what Coach Bowden had put together there. And Coach Bowden is still contesting it.
Stokes with it from Bowden. Back to Sydney. Facing a double team in the corner. Stokes, open, 3 ball, yes! Kailani Foster. She's got 7, all 7 in the second half, and now it's a 4-point game. Hasn't been this close in a while.
Probably have to go back to the first quarter.
Yep. Yeah, it was 2 at the end of the first, and they started pulling away in the second.
Boy, that's a tough matchup for Sydney Bowden to have to guard way away from the basket there.
Evanich with 18 to lead all scorers. The lead is back to 6. Bowden. Battle for the rebound. The Dukes have it. 2:22 left in regulation. Every possession now becomes important.
Foul
1-1.
Yeah, foul will send Marlington to the line, but down by 6 with 1:50 to go. I think 1-1 is not going to disappoint Coach Bowden. The problem is number 4 has proven to be a very proficient shooter today.
Yes.
Lexi Miller. That was the 4th foul on Maya Taylor. Is that what happened, Scott? 5th foul.
5th foul.
Oh, that hurts.
McKinley substitution. Entering the game, number 10, Jayla Sparks.
So Maya's
At the line for the
day
first
is
shooting
done.
one, number 4,
The total of
Lexi
7.
Miller.
Nice hand for the freshman. Jayla Sparks comes in to replace her. $12 points for Miller. Stokes finds an opening. Ooh. I'm thinking jump ball, alternate possession, gives it to the Lady Pups.
Yes.
Can't take advantage of it, though, unfortunately. The lead is 8, and time is fleeting. 1 minute, 30 seconds to go. Paris Stokes down on the floor in front of the scorer's
the
table.
Right call. The Marlington screener moved her hip, and you can't do that. I thought that was a good look here at the last end where we had missed a 3. That was from one of our good shooters, and down 8. You have to live with 3-pointers at times here.
Snell shot off the side of the iron. Minute 10 to play.
Just gone a little cold at an inopportune time here.
Good passing. Miller with 15.
Back to 10. It seemed like just a second ago we had it at 4.
Yeah. Sydney for 3. Yes.
Yes.
Sydney leads McKinley with 13. 30 seconds to go.
Coach Bowden wants a foul. Send them to the line. Sydney's obliging her dad, but it's not getting called.
Yeah, she's doing everything she can.
Yeah.
And we are down to 15.1 and a 7-point lead. And it's a 3-possession game for the Bulldogs to try to get back into it. Unless you can, I don't think they'll foul on a 3, but they'll foul in front of the official here.
McKinley foul, number 2, Paris Stokes, her 3rd personal foul, 8th team foul.
Two good teams this afternoon.
Yes.
And
number 30, Elizabeth Mason.
This Marlington team is going to win a lot of games. They already have. I'm happy with the effort the second half from the Lady Pups. I feel like they've stayed in this the whole way. They've not gotten discouraged and competed right until the end.
I needed 5 more minutes to get all the score done. We'll get her done somehow. It's gotten very quiet.
That's the end of this afternoon's varsity contest here from the Canton Memorial Fieldhouse. Your final score, Marlington 58, McKinley 50.
Well, your thoughts as I try to get the numbers here.
Well, I think that Marlington's ability to shoot the ball in the first half was a difference in this game. I think the numbers would reflect a pretty evenly played second half, but they got hot from the 3-point line and created the separation that we couldn't overcome.
Yeah, you were right. 14-12 McKinley advantage after 10-8. So they actually outscored them in the second half, but it was building that 12-point lead in the first half that would play a key role here. And let's see here. Let's go over the numbers. 2, 4. Well, I've got 7 apiece for Maya Taylor and Kailani Foster. 11 for Paris Stokes, as you hear some of the shouts of joy as we're very close to the visitors' locker room here. Sydney had a nice game with 13 to lead the way for her team. Paris 11 and Ariana Snell had 10. Jayla Sparks 2 off the bench. And again, the storyline here will be the 4 players in double figures as advertised based on their season highs. Lexi Miller, number 4, we had as the number 1 scorer with 15, but between 10 and 12 points apiece, you had Elizabeth Mason, Chelsea Evanich, Maria Warner, and even Ava Collins in that fourth period got into the scoring column with 2. So everything went probably according to plan, and I think the difference in this game was probably the first half advantage that Marlington had. I mean, when you go into the locker room on the road, leading it with a margin of 12 points over a talented opponent, you've done something.
And you know the score at the end of the first quarter?
Yeah, it was 18-16. So Marlington's up only by 2. So it was that second period if you wanted to really
hot
narrow
shooting
it
that
down.
really was a difference in the game.
Yeah. Well, I thank you again, my friend. Double duty for you. You'll sleep well tonight as far as that goes. I want to say a big thank you as well, again, to Kent McClelland, my broadcast partner, to Dave Jingo, to Jen Eberly, and bringing you the pictures on the main camera, as always, Mr. Ian Burton. And as we always talk about here on Canton City Schools TV and our live streaming, in the words of the late, great Joe Tate, have a good night, everybody.